I used to struggle really hard, be like, why can't I look like other people? Why can't I get my body to look like pretty girls? I really had to kill that idea. I had to mourn it. I had to accept that they were there and then move past it.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Body Honesty Project. My name is Lydia, and today we will be talking about giving up on goals. Now, the fat acceptance community seems to have a step in their recovery from diet culture, which includes mourning the thin you. Now, that may seem all nice and healing, but to me, it seems like a softer way to encourage people to give up on their goals. But before we get into the TikTok, I think we need to learn a little bit more about giving up on goals. So why don't we watch this next clip, then come back and discuss.
Why do we give up on goals? We all make goals, but many of us give up on our goals easily, and some give up before even getting started. So why is that? We fail to take ownership of the goal. We believe that other things influence attaining our goal more than our own actions. We say, it will never happen for me, without ever giving a good reason as to why, as if the universe is conspiring against us, preventing us from reaching our goal. We won't put the work in. We want the results without doing the things. We assume that other people find it easier than we do and think that if they don't have to work, why do I? We get caught up in fairness and self-pity rather than acknowledging that we need to work to achieve success. We are willing to work, but not put in the time. We want results instantly, and when we don't get it, we abandon the process. We say, I'm not averse to hard work, but we are averse to hard work over a long time. We don't get rewarded enough for our efforts. We feel demoralized after giving so much and getting little in return. We start to feel that it simply isn't worth it anymore. So, how do we realize our goals? Plan. It's not enough to just want results. You have to know what you have to do in order to make them a reality. Write down what you need to do and make the time to do it. Set milestone achievements to keep you on track. It can be disheartening waiting to achieve your ultimate goal, so you should celebrate intermediary accomplishments along the way. Should you ever give up on your goals? When all the things you need to do to reach your goal are not feasible, it may be time to reassess. You may want to modify your goal or abandon it altogether. But if you are honest with yourself, you are choosing to give up on the effort required to achieve your goal. You're likely not giving up on the wanting of the goal. When you say, I've given up on being X, what it means is I have given up on doing the things I need to do in order to get X. Whether or not those things are feasible or not is a conversation that you need to have with yourself.
So, now that we know a little bit more about why we give up on goals and the things we need to do to stay focused on our goals, let's get into the TikTok.
There's a specific experience within the fat experience that not every fat person experiences, but I don't hear it talked about enough. That is mourning the thin you. I grew up fat. I grew up fat with a thin, beautiful mother. I was on fad diets before I was 10. I had disordered eating. There was this idea in my head of thin me, of waking up one day and just being skinny, or even weird fantasies of like, oh, I got shot in the stomach and the doctors just had to give me liposuction. Weird stuff like that growing up. And I used to struggle really hard, be like, why can't I look like other people? Why can't I get my body to look like pretty girls? I really had to kill that idea. I had to mourn it. I had to accept that they were there and then move past it.
So first I'd like to talk about the headspace that this TikToker was in when she talked about the thin version of her. And it was a fantasy, something that she was dreaming of, that she would magically wake up thin, or a terrible accident would occur and that would magically force the doctors to do surgery on her that would make her thin. Now, to me, this is a lack of ownership. The goal is not magical. She is inferring that other things needed to happen in order for this magical thin her to appear. But that's not the truth. She's not taking ownership for the things that she would need to do in order to reach her goal. This seems to be a hallmark of the fat acceptance community, that thinness is like a magical gift, and some people get it and some people don't. And if you don't get the thin gift, then you need to move on. But that's not true. Everybody can have the thin gift if you work at it. To me, this is sending the wrong message. It's sending the message that thinness is something that can never be achieved, so why bother trying? Which we know is not true. Then she spoke about being on fad diets before she was 10. And in all honesty, I empathize deeply with that. My first diet, I was 8. I drank Slim Fast for breakfast. I know how bad this can be, and I truly, truly am sorry that she went through that. However, she is an adult now and has more information and more knowledge about food and nutrition. At least I would hope she does, more so than her pre-10 self. And as someone who is on the internet a lot, I am sure that she has also seen the information that you do not need to do fad diets in order to lose weight. There is an alternative. It's gradual, slow, steady weight loss. She's faulting the goal of thinness and not the process that she was using to get to said goal. The goal wasn't wrong. How she was getting there was. But rather than change the process, she removed the goal. By the time she got to the point where she was ready to mourn the thin her, I would think that that was a better time to reassess her goal rather than abandon it altogether. In life, our priorities change. Sometimes we will take something that's our number 1 priority and drop it to number 2 or number 5, and sometimes it just falls off the plate altogether. When I was in high school, I really wanted to be a competitive figure skater, and I put all my energy into that. But by the time I got to the end of high school and I realized that's likely not going to happen, I changed my focus. Skating ceased to be a priority for me, and university became my priority. But should certain priorities fall off altogether? For me, health and nutrition will never completely go away. No, I am not training like an elite athlete anymore, but I still care about my health. I still skate, I still exercise, maybe not as intensely as I did when I was younger, but I still do those things. It's not black or white, it's not do or don't do, there is a middle ground. At certain milestones, people tend to make changes in their lives. And for me, on the health, fitness, body journey, my milestone turning point was right after I had my first child. Because for me and friends of mine that are the same age, that seemed to be the turning point on, do you still care about your health, your fitness, and your weight? Or are you a parent now and you do not care? Because at that time, I had a decision to make. I had a good percentage of my friends telling me, you're a mother now. Who cares? Let yourself go. Why do you want to diet down to where you were before you had the baby? It doesn't matter now. Put your kids first. And I agree about putting my kids first, but there was no way I was going to be a fat mom. Health and fitness have always been a priority, and they will always be a priority. No, I'm not running 10Ks every weekend, but I still run a little, and I still skate a little, and I still dance a little, and I'm doing enough to keep myself fit. Am I as fit as I was before I had children? Probably not. I don't have as much time, but I'm still doing what I can. The friends of mine that chose otherwise at that milestone of first child are all now 20 to 100 pounds overweight. Once they let it slide, there was no turning back. The friends of mine that decided to lose the baby weight have healthier lives and healthier children right now. When I was 165 pounds, I am so glad that nobody told me to mourn the thin me, because if I did, I would never come back to what I'm supposed to be. I don't want to mourn this me. This is the real me, and the me that makes me happy. So I'm not ready to mourn this me. She ain't dead yet. But I certainly had to reassess my situation. I knew that with a baby, I'm not going to be able to do the same things that I used to be able to do. And it took me a whole year to lose 40 pounds. 1 year. Now, I probably could have done things to speed that up, but I didn't have the time. I was patient with it. I took slow, gradual steps. And over the course of 12 months, I did drop the 40 pounds. This TikTok was not mean or angry at all. It was sweet and soft and gentle, and I have to tell you that I feel like such a bitch for criticizing it, because this woman does not seem like an angry fat activist. But I am critiquing it because this message is more harmful because it is so kind. It is gently discouraging you from chasing your goals. It is encouraging you to accept defeat in a very, very nice and soft way. It makes weight loss and thinness seem like a fantasy, something that you can only dream of. But that's not true. I wish more people could realize that it is within your reach if you take the time and effort. I do agree that you should probably get rid of the idea of whatever thin you looks like, because whatever's in your head will likely not match reality. But you can envision a different version of you, a version of you whose pants aren't so tight, a version of you that can walk up the stairs without getting winded, a version of you that can go out dancing all night long and have a great time and feel so comfortable in your own skin. And every time you have an accomplishment, big or small, not getting winded tying your shoes or walking to the grocery store instead of taking the car, those are milestones that should be celebrated. If you make your goal to live a healthier life, guess what? Every day you win. You don't just win when you hit the number on the scale. If you sign up for the process, you're a winner every day. So when you're saying that you're mourning the thin you, is that really what you're doing? Or are you just accepting that you've given up on living a healthier lifestyle? Because if we are truly honest with ourselves, the sense of loss that we feel isn't from not realizing our goal. It's the internal disappointment of giving up on the process. So until next time, stay body positive, but also body honest.